We've got nice fitment. It's going to fit nice to the fender ends there. I'm deciding if I want to work in this this molding. Welcome back to the workbench, where we try to make things. And we're continuing to try to make today is Revell's Ford FD-100 pickup, the Foose design kit that they put out a while back, but we're going to be doing it quite a bit different. If you want to get caught up on that, just check the description down below. There's a playlist there for you. You can get caught up, kind of everything different we're doing with this kit. But right now, we're focusing just on the cab, and even more specifically than that, we're focusing just on the front end of the cab, where I need to work the hood to fit a gap that was here between our grille. In fact, let's put our Bronco. By the way, if you are new, this is a Bronco front end. I basically cut the front end off of a Bronco kit. This is basically the core support that we got to fit right in here. But what we needed to do to make the rest work, we've got the grill. Obviously, the grill will fit because it fits right into the core support. That's perfect. But we had this gap above, let me make sure you can see, we had this gap above the, well, I guess it's basically the radiator support of the Bronco part here, that I wanted to fill that gap. And the way I decided I wanted to fill that gap was by adding to the hood. So the hood, if we look at this, just to explain it a little further, the fenders kind of have this mass, this body that comes down here. And if let me put this core support back in from the Bronco, and you can see how it comes down. Hopefully you can see how it comes down to meet that. Well, the hood didn't have that. I figured out why, and we'll take a look at that as to why that is. But I've gone ahead and built that kind of same body line and kind of roughed in that same body line. Hopefully you can see this down here to come down and meet this part that we're grafting in from the Bronco. Let me get this back lined up here. There we go. And you can see that, one, I've been trying to work it to just kind of flow in with the rest of the body lines here as far as coming out of the fenders. We're getting there slowly, but this is very tedious work. It takes a lot of time, at least for me it does. But now we can see how that, well, one, that gap is gone, right? Because it's filled by that piece that we built in. We'll take a closer look at it here in a second. But also it meets up with the part we're grafting in here from the Bronco. So let's just take a quick look, one, at the hood itself. Pretty straightforward. I just matched this angle. There's a piece of styrene that I angled down this way and matched it. I put it across. Let me use this piece of styrene as an example. I just kind of laid it across like so. If I show up top, it might be easier. I laid it across like so, and then I was able to glue that to the hood, holding it nice and level, got it to glue up, and then that gave me, when I removed it, that gave me that angle I needed for that piece. Built in a backside, and then I've capped it off so far, and now I've started slowly body working that in. You can see we still got some filler and whatnot. It's kind of rough here from the filler, but all that'll get body worked in, and we'll do spot putty and everything else down the line. That I'm not too worried about. It's getting everything to really match in. And so I've actually been doing that a lot too, because I've been really working this front line here to make sure that it all matches. And not only that, with it held in place where it'll close, I want to get this all nice and smooth. And these models, any model, any kit, there's variance in everything. So I'm just trying to make sure and get everything nice and smooth and lined up, just like so. Get a decent gap. We've got a decent gap in the back here. I like that gap. I kind of like the gap here. Down the passenger side. Gap's a little tight right there, so we'll probably work that a little bit just to get that real thin gap, make sure that's all straight. Now, the reason, and I didn't really think about this, the reason it didn't have this whole body piece right here on the hood, why it was, the hood just stopped, and if you're not familiar, the hood just stopped right here. If you can see that. So all this stuff is what we added. Well, it's because this radiator support, it bumped way out. I mean, way out here. It bumped out to basically the end of the fenders here. So when you tried to if you were to close the hood, and with this body part, it hit. So I slowly started pulling that back until I got it to fit right in. So it actually runs right up against that core support, the back, if you can see it. the back of this piece we built in now rubs right against that the radiator support, I should say. So everything fits nice and tight and snug. I'll bring everything down another, half a mil or whatever, just a little bit, because we always got to keep in mind, we are going to have paint thickness, right? So when I build these gaps and whatnot, I do want to have when I say a hair, I mean a paper's hair, because we don't paint thick. So paper's hair more gap than I want, because I'm going to have more primer and I'm going to have paint that's going to have thickness. So I try to keep all that in mind when building these gaps, when building the gap between this. So I don't want to paint this and then I go to put the hood, have the hood close in it, and it's stuck up just a little bit like that, because we got that little bit of paint thickness to it, and we can't get it to close all the way. So I'm got to keep all that in mind. Anyway, so that's where we are with the hood. Now the other half of this equation, let me bring it back down here, was the bumper down below. So we used to wrap. If you guys are new, there used to be a big kind of body part that came across here and jutted out, and then that's where there's just a little metal bumper would go. But we want to use the Bronco bumper, which we're smoothing out, still in the process of smoothing out. You know what? I'm also still debating, if I want to fill these holes or not, and just make this one smooth, kind of like roll pan kind of bumper, and remove these holes. Or I think also, because the motor, by the way, the motor's coming in today. I mentioned this at the end of last episode, and if you didn't watch all the way through, you might not have saw it. The motor comes in today, so tomorrow, and I've got tape stuck to my arm, okay, comes in today, so tomorrow we'll have the motor in, which is, we've obviously got to start getting it to fit as we work our way back through the cab. So I might leave those holes, because I don't know if I'll need them I don't know if I'll need them for the motor for breathers or anything like that. But I still am thinking about, if I don't need them, to just close all that in and make a nice smooth, just kind of roll pan. But back to what we're talking about here. If I put this in, I removed all that mass that was down here. I also ended up having to, and I'll show you why, there was tabs here at the bottom that the bumper, if you see there's, let me see if I can show you, see how there were slots or holes here on the bumper, and on the core support, there's tabs on the bumper that this used to fit into. I ended up having to remove those, which I didn't think I was going to have to. I was hoping I could just make this all one unit. But what the problem is, with that connected, the bumper hangs out way out like this. It sticks like this, and I need it to rock back here. And so I had to remove all of this material, and I started working these fender ends. The fenders themselves used to come, let me see, where's the best way to show you, used to come way down here. Let me show you down below. They used to come way out to here. So I had to by the way, I just sand them, because I do not want to go too far. I do not want to overcut. So I sand with heavy grit, and I sand with a heavy grit sanding block, and I sand, and then I work it and work it and work it and work it until I get it right where I want it to match up with the core support there, like so. And then I got the where the outsides of the bumpers will fit right in here in place, like so. If I hold it, in fact, you can see from here, we've got nice fitment. It's going to fit nice to the fender ends there. I'm deciding if I want to work in this molding into this piece. I think probably not. I'm also wondering, you can see how this cut edge here angles forward, so it doesn't follow the line of the fender well. So do I want to build in material here to keep that following? Probably not. If I did do that, then I would want to continue the molding down, but I don't think I want to do that. I think I want the bumper to kind of be its own thing. You can let me know what you think down in the comments, but we are right there. So what I'll do is, once I get everything, well, let me just talk about this. I need to work these. Let me see. We'll look up top. I'm going back and forth between cameras, trying to give the best view. These knobby parts here that are left, that needs to be created in. I need to follow that one. This this curved edge here to follow that, and then the fender to follow. In other words, I need to mold or sand or shave or whatever you want to say into this same body line all the way around. Once that's done, then I'm going to glue in this core support and get it glued in right in place where it needs to be. I don't want to do it now because I need to. It'll make it nearly impossible to get this shape in. And then once that's glued in, I can kind of work this just a little bit more to get this to sit exactly where I want it. And then you can see we start building back in. So I'll have to build in material here. And I might even I'll probably build in this material here before I attach the bumper. I think it'll be easier so that it'll fill this gap. But I don't know that gap yet because I haven't worked this yet completely, this body line. So I'll have to fill here. And then we've already talked about I'll have to fill here. And then this will get all molded in. I can go ahead and then attach the bumper because this is all going to be body color, including the core supports. All this is going to be body color. It's going to be the blood red candy that we're doing, right? And then I know, obviously, I know that this will fit in no problem. These are very complicated explanations I'm trying to give, but that's where we're at. So hopefully tomorrow we'll have that pretty well. I'm hoping to have the core support in. I'm actually really hoping to even have the bumper in. So have all this body work done on the fenders. This body work here that needs to be done. Core support in, material added to the bottom of the core support, and bumper in, and then we're ready to start really molded in there. Because like I said, the motor's coming tomorrow, so I need to start. We're going to start working our way back. Oh, before I forget too, I want to just show. Let me see if I can show real quick how this fits in with the front rails, because there is a little, there is something there to it. So let me get this put together so everything sits right where it's supposed to sit, like so. And then when I put this front bumper in where it needs to go, you see it can't sit all the way back. Well, one, let me point out, it's covering those frame rails that are lower than what the stock frame rails originally were. And it makes sense because now the frame rails match up, connect to the bumper, which the bumper used to be higher. Okay, this is going to sit here. I might end up having to, now that I'm looking at it also, I'm going to have to remove just a little bit of the bumper because I want everything to sit level here. So this bottom part of the bumper will probably get shaved down a little bit, but you can see now the frame rails are too long, which is super simple fix. I will just start sanding them back until I get this bumper to then line up where I want on the fenders. So super simple fix, and there we go. I'm glad. I'd rather these frame rails long than short, right? It's easier to remove than to put back. So anyways, that's where we're at there. I'm gonna try to have all that done for tomorrow. I've got to really work at it, and that's what. And it's all this is so tedious. It takes time because I just this is the way I do it, and I not even millimeter, like 1/10 of a millimeter at a time, moving things around, trying to get things to fit. It just takes a lot of time. So I hope to have that all done tomorrow because we'll have the motor tomorrow, which is super exciting. We can start building the motor and getting it to fit in back here. So if this is something you're interested in and want to keep up with, and I don't know, listen to me ramble, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button down below, hit the hype button, hit the bell button, do all those buttons. I don't know, do what everybody tells you to do on YouTube. I got to get back to work. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.